What's going on, guys? Julian here from Prepare for Performance. Today, I'm going to tell you or talk to you, educate you, and coach you on how to do the my personal 5 best upper body row variations for athletes. So my first one is a chest supported row. You're going to grab two dumbbells. There's going to be 2 variations of this. We're going to do one where we're prone and then one where we're supinated. Again, a lot of row variations. The reason for upper body strength is for a number of different things. If you're an overhead athlete, it's very important that you have upper body strength to help support, any sort of like movements in the shoulders. So like volleyball, like a goalie in soccer, baseball, all that stuff. So helping support the shoulder. The shoulder girdle, because again, remember the shoulder girdle is not really attached to anything. It kind of just sits there, and there's just ligaments that are supporting it, plus the muscles that are supporting it. So I always like to have some different variations for our athletes. So the first one is going to be the prone, where palms are facing down, and I like to get in a little angle and then pull, pause here, and then go back. Don't let your head drop down like this. Kind of keep your head neutral with your spine. Okay, pull, and then go back down. Again, depending on the time of year, the season, this could be used for strength. This could be used for hypertrophy. The chest supported kind of takes out the core assistance or stabilization, and the bench kind of helps with that. So you don't really have to worry about that. So you can go pretty heavy on these. Again, depending on the year, the season, depending on the time of the year. So if it's like off season, you can probably do a little bit less weight work, focusing on hypertrophy, or if it's in season, you can focus on more strength, so you have a little bit heavier weight. The second one is supinated, so palms are facing up, pulling straight back, and then down, trying not to shrug and pull, trying to get those traps out of it. Okay, really focusing on driving our elbows to the ceiling and nice and controlled going back down. The next movement is going to be a Renegade Row with no push-up. I like this one a lot with my athletes because we're incorporating some core, obviously stability in the shoulder, building some strength in our upper body again. So you're going to get some space. I mean, ideally, if you have space, you have like turf space. It doesn't really matter if you're on the floor. Here, you're going to get in a push-up position or a high plank. I like to spread the feet to start off with. You can make it harder by bringing your feet in, and you're just going to pull and then alternate, or you can just do one side at a time, stabilizing this shoulder. Again, really trying not to rotate the hips, pushing into the ground, keeping our shoulders over the dumbbell, and pulling. That is a Renegade Row. So we got 1 prone rows, supinated, 3 Renegade Row. The next one, we're going to come over here on this bar. We're going to do a inverted row. Again, there's a couple ways of you can do this. You can make it more challenging. So first, I would start by doing a tabletop. This is a little bit easier, and just pulling ourselves to the bar. Try not to arch our back. Nice and controlled going down. Keeping those hips up also kind of helps with a little bit more core. I always tell the athlete to look straight up to the ceiling instead of rolling forward. And then you focus a little bit more on the upper back versus trying to curl and really not getting anything out of it. Next, so I'm going to give you a couple of variations of this. Make it a little bit more challenging. Say it's too easy for them. Extend your legs out, pull. Okay. Third variation. Let's take a box Put our feet up. Again, range of motion here, but our feet are obviously off the ground as well. So you could have it like so, bent knees, straight. Again, when you increase the range of motion, obviously makes it a lot easier and a little less support. You got to be a little bit stronger. So I always start off with the tabletop, then extend the legs, then put our feet on top, then maybe some weight on top, maybe a vest, plate, whatever. Our fifth is a cable variation. So cable variation here, I try to get them into a split stance. Reason being is a lot of kids sit all day, are always flexed in this position, and it's hard for them to get good full extension even when they sprint. So getting them into a position where they're extended in the hips, just like we did on that inverted row, kind of helps them get out of that flex position, gets them squeezing that glute and pulling like so. Again, depending on the type of the year, time of year, the reps, sets, whatever are going to be dependent, again, like I said, on the time of year. But I always like these variations, kind of mixing them in throughout the year, again, to help, one, get them stronger, get a little bit more core, open up the hips a little bit more with this cable version and the inverted version. And I honestly don't change too much because these seem to work. There's a ton of different variations. I can go super deep, but I use these pretty much often with a lot of my young athletes that we have here at Prepare for Performance. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.